to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists, where today we are talking one of the most underrated science fiction thrillers of all time. And I know that's specific criteria, but there's no other way to classify it. It is a science fiction thriller. Déjà Vu, originally released on November 22nd, 2006, written for the screen by Bill Marsili and Terry Rossio, directed by the late, great Tony Scott. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Now, this was a rewatch for both of us. Mm-hmm. We looked back 4 days into the past, and we watched the movie for a second time. How'd you feel about your second viewing of Déjà Vu?
Well, I looked back to see when my first viewing was, and it's not 4 days, 6 hours, 420 ago. That's when I had my first viewing of this, and my review reflects that quite clearly. I think I went, I went quite down the theory rabbit hole a little bit, but this time a lot more tame of a normal viewing of the movie, I can't believe I forgot about this though, in between the first viewing and now, because I watch it and I added it to my quintessential Joe.
That's Joe Core.
That's Joe Core. Yeah, I need to rename that to Joe Core, and not quintessential Joe anymore. But yeah, I added it instantly. I'm like, why did I not add that before? Maybe that list didn't exist last year.
Right.
Whenever I watched it, and then two, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it is.
It's Denzel, baby.
Yeah, it's
That's
Denzel.
Top 2 for you.
Time-ish travel, sci-fi. Maybe.
I'd say it is time travel. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I know that the movie kind of makes the case that it is not literally time travel, but if you can travel into the perceived past,
yes, yeah,
spoilers, die, and it not affect the you that exists at that time, you've traveled in time, buddy. I don't know how to tell you.
Something, yeah. The ending this time got me to think a little differently. I knew it was always good, and I knew I was barreling towards I'm it's just the tears that are just it's never a stream. It's just kind of this is just, it's so good.
I'd
but
try.
His body language or his facial acting at the end.
Denzel's so fucking good.
It almost gives me the impression that he knows that, though that interaction he had with her, that he was like, "Have I met you before?" Or he, playing that,
he's teasing her a little bit.
Yeah, that he fully knows, sort of thing. Because then at the very very end, he goes nah, or nah,
yeah,
and it might be initially
he's getting
when
Déjà
I first
Vu.
Watched it, yeah. But when I first, I'm like, okay, it's Déjà Vu, and he's like, no, it's too crazy to put into words. I'm just not going to speak it out. But or is it that it's better to keep the illusion alive? I don't know. He was about to tell her, no, I know, or I understand. I still have all those memories somehow. I wonder truly what version of him that is. That was, I never really thought about it that much.
Which version shows up at the end of the movie? It could just be he actually escaped the water? Is that what you mean?
No, the version that traveled back that then defused the bomb. Nah, he's dead. He blew up. Nah, he's gone. He didn't get out of the car, heal up, get all clean, and then be like, yo, what's up? No, so
it is that version of him and that's what I love about the flat circle sort of vibe that we're rocking with. I I'm a sucker for it. Like the end of this movie rolls around, and she tests him. That little. What if you had to tell something the most important thing in the world, but they would never believe you? And him going, I'd try.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of looks up and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
no. Yeah, I fucking love that moment, dude. I love it. It's so good. And Tony Scott had the juice, the absolute juice. Not the only Denzel Tony Scott collaboration by a long shot. They also did Man on Fire, which was recently adapted into a Netflix series with Yahya Abdul-Mateen. They did Unstoppable. It was Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. That was Tony Scott's last feature film. I remember I saw that in theaters with a friend, and I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, when I was that little, I was like, unstoppable train gets stopped. Fuck yeah. It was awesome. But Denzel, he's so charming. He's so effortless, like there's just so much ease in the way he performs. And one of my favorite things about this character and his performance of it is just the way he says his name. Doug Carlin. Because one of the greatest comedians of all time is George Carlin. And his last name is Carlin, and everyone says Carlin. Like that's how they say it. And then he comes on screen and goes, I'm Doug Carlin. And like there's an emphasis on the Lin that I really love. And I don't know why. It tickles my brain in a very specific way. And it's so Denzel also. I God, I love him.
I don't know why he's always a badass in whatever he's doing. Like, maybe that's just the movies I've seen him in, but like he's always the resident expert or the person who just will know everything. Like when he walks up to Val Kilmer and the surrounding kind of force they have, and he's like, oh yeah, so I went to the autopsy, I found this, blah blah blah, found this girl, not actually an explosion, she was dead before, gotta track that guy, find the killer, we find the bomb, also it's a red tan Bronco likely, and like just listed all the things that they were going to find. Like he's always that archetype for me, or like he's just the guy, I feel like. And maybe that's like Book of Eli was young and he's the guy in there. Equalizer, he's the guy. So like those were at least the ones my dad rewatched over and over.
Yeah.
So now like this feels like my true Denzel's the guy. I don't know. And it's like like I love this movie, the tropes of of science, says one thing, but what does your gut say? Or what is physics says one thing, but no, there's something more to it. And that's like,
incredible supporting cast around Denzel too, which really does lend itself to a much more enjoyable movie. Paula Patton is as entrancing a leading lady as you can possibly find. Not the first movie we've covered with Paula Patton in it. Do you remember what the other one was?
What would that have been? How recent was it?
Oh, it would have been last year. It would have been 2025.
I'd be throwing a complete guess. It's not. No, I don't know.
It was in anticipation of a newly releasing movie, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. She is in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, if I'm not mistaken.
Is this where this
she
comes
is
from?
the one.
Okay.
She's the one who kicks Leia Seydoux out of the window, because her partner was killed by Leia Seydoux.
Wow! Oh my God, that is. I remember, or at least Mission Impossible popped up in my review. That I enjoyed this even more than the Mission Impossible series, and I wonder if that, I'm assuming, is how you maybe found this movie, because you watched it first and then recommended it to me, and then I watched it
It sounds like you would have been watching it
on
around the time that we were covering Mission Impossible also. So it does make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, wow. But I guess now in this moment in time I didn't remember her in Mission
Yeah.
Impossible. But the first
Yeah.
viewing, I probably did.
Well, and I remember
that's
we
wild.
we watched it and we were like, this is one of those characters who should stick around, and then she just doesn't, which is unfortunate. We were both like, she's good. We should have more Paula Patton. And I even remember when we were talking about it, I was like, I just watched Déjà Vu and it was so good and she's so good. So yeah, I love me some Paula Patton, man, and she is really, really good in this. Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer. He's the shit, man. I love me some Val Kilmer. Adam Goldberg, really good in this. Denny, the one who's like, don't tell anybody, but I believe in God. You know.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. The side
we
got
whole
Foggy,
that whole
Foggy
crew.
Nelson
Yeah,
up
Foggy
in there.
Nelson, Eldon Henson, Erica Alexander. That whole little crew that they all have to roll together with is really, really engrossing, and I really appreciate it. There's a really, really young actress in this movie who I have grown to really appreciate as she grows up. The little girl that Paula Patton babysits.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what
is
girl
played
or what?
is
What
played by
child is in here?
played by Elle Fanning, who was just nominated for an Oscar last year for Sentimental Value.
Fanning? What the
Yeah,
heck? That is
and
so
her older
weird.
sister Dakota Fanning stars opposite Denzel in Man on Fire, the Tony Scott Denzel Washington collaboration immediately preceding this. So they do have a familial history there. That's probably why Elle Fanning is in this movie.
Wow. Okay. It just trickles down. I would have never. Okay, I'm like at first. I'm like kid. There's not a kid in this movie. I'm like
hardly.
And I'm like, one of the babies on the ferry at like the beginning, or like when it's just. I love that like that is the first 3 minutes before the ferry explodes. It's just like, all right, let's make you feel as bad as possible when this ferry explodes. Let's just show everyone having a good time.
Just make sure you know everybody. Everybody's
singing.
Happy. Yeah.
Baby, grandfather holding their baby, just, having...
Nothing could be better.
Boom! And then just explosion out of nowhere.
Brutal.
And it's like, okay. And yeah, I would say, like, up until the first hour, whenever Denzel points the laser at the, and then gets her to look at it, from that moment on, it's absolute edge. Like, I'm locked in, and it's just, it is all, like, it doesn't
It does require a lot of setup in that first act. And I mean, like... Before that, it is just kind of it takes the tone of a noir, a post 9/11 noir. Like it's about the surveillance state and about how terrorism is a threat in our nation and all that good stuff, and how we are over surveilling to overcompensate for the events of 9/11. And the way that it blends like the noir aspects of, I'm trying to think of the movie Laura. I've referenced this to you before. It's a movie called Laura, where a detective falls in love with a murder victim by investigating the murder. Falls head over heels with this woman. The more he learns about her, the more infatuated he becomes, and the more he becomes invested in the investigation. And I think I brought this up as it pertains to Twin Peaks. Also, specifically, which I think that there's, this is sci-fi, but this is I think there's a little bit more Twin Peaks here than, once you've watched Twin Peaks, there's Twin Peaks and everything. But that is kind of the root of that for me, is that noir thing where detective falls in love with the helpless little lady who it's too late to save, and this movie's like, but what if it wasn't too late to save her, dude?
But wait, you can save her. Yeah, that's I mean, I struggle. Like I did. It is sci-fi and very time travel. The machine he gets in, whatever. But like maybe in 2006 this wasn't public information. But Lockheed Martin, they're fully public about we have 24/7 global surveillance through their satellite. Like and that's what they just say publicly.
Right.
So it's like, do you really think it's to the level that the movie goes to, that they could
I think it's
zoom
more
in
advanced.
on my twisted tea and read the nutrition facts.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet. I'm
Yeah.
almost there. I think they can make out the shape of this can 100%.
Oh,
but
yeah.
as far as the letters on it,
details
I
on
don't
it,
know.
yeah.
I don't know. Audio, guarantee. I mean, I'm
Oh, yeah,
talking
we're
into a
fucked.
microphone
We are cooked
right
there.
here.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like I am in kind of this camp now where I've accepted that we are in such a state of surveillance that everything is known. So why try to hide anything whatsoever? My passwords might be the only thing I try to hide because like
Yeah.
I don't want people logging into my bank account or like whatever. So
Right.
like, you know, but like the more I learn about how like satellites just communicate with each other, it's like this stuff it's been
Yeah, we're
figured out
constantly-
for I don't know how long. And yeah, like, are they here? Whenever you have that feeling when like, oh, is there someone behind? You know, we have like an actual sense of like, if you're at a park in the middle of a field and someone is staring at you from behind you and just looking at you, we have like a weird sense of looking back. Like, and this has been tested of like if it's placebo or not. Like, we have a sense of this, and like I want, you know, the movie gets into it a little bit of like that whenever they are looking, the other person is a little bit aware, like that, like that they do see, and like it could, you know, my new headcanon of, you know, I really love this out view or look of like how the world works or like how the universe works in a way of that, like it is a timeline and we kind of have our fate, but if you care enough to change something in the past, like if the like, and it's usually out of love, it's either out of a lot of love or out of a lot of hate. Like I think it can work both ways, but like I kind of like, if we could travel into the past, I don't think it is written that it is fully in stone, whatever. Like this, it might be a headcanon, but like I kind of believe somewhat in a way that this is like how the world functions, and like that it is more of a circle, that it's not a linear path, it's not one direction sort of thing. And like I love the idea that it is, if Denzel or the character didn't, like, he kind of fell in love a little, like it maybe like a not a love at first sight, more of like a, I know I'm going to save you in the future, so I must become, you know, what, I don't know, he had to just do it. But I think it was he cared for her in this weird way, and that if it was just another case, he wouldn't have cared as much, and he would not have gone back in time to save her, sort of thing. So it's like
well, and they also make it clear that they do change things. You know, like, so it implies that he tried this once and failed at it. Because she does wash up.
Yeah.
There's, you know, the partner's death is another one that's like, the partner's car being at the ferry, that implies some sort of intervention, you know.
You mean like multiple attempts at this?
Yeah, like he had previously gone back and he'd already died in the process of doing so. And therein he got another shot at it, kind of.
At least every change, like, it was rippled after they were looking in and doing this. I think, like, the first timeline is he's called in after the explosion has happened, and he's just the agent that's called for it, and whatever.
Yeah.
But he does get the call from her on the gum wrapper, you know, like, so that would have to happen. But I think still the explosion does happen. He goes back in time, saves her, because that's the biggest change, is that she is alive, he is dead, you know, a version of him, whatever. But that is the biggest change to happen. But the death of his partner didn't, that switched, like, that was an active switch that no. They just figured out how it happened. It didn't change.
Well, the partner was already believed to be dead, but not the way that they affected it.
Because they
like,
sent the note
they don't have
back.
an explanation. Yeah, they sent the note back, but at the beginning, his car is at the ferry, and they're like, those are the cars of the victims. So, like, they changed the way that guy died. And then Denzel does make it clear thereafter. He's like, by changing something, we didn't change shit because now he's got blood in that car and he can't use it. So now he's got to go kidnap. So they kind of show that they show that the river corrects itself. It goes right around the rock and it continues streaming in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? Like they threw something into the river, something changed, but it didn't change the grand scope of things, which is why I think that there's also, well,
it's not changing the thing that they're seeking to change.
Yes.
Like, maybe he would like a world where he could save his partner and and everyone, at the same time. But I think it is like the goal really for Denzel isn't to save the fairy. Like, honestly,
no.
He I think it is it's a
win-win
saving
situation.
her saves the fairy.
Yeah.
Like, I think. So it's like if I do one, it does the other. But like, if he could choose one, I don't know. Like, he might choose her over the fairy, which that's the one part of the story that feels like maybe there could have been more written into it, but I don't know how you do it. Is like their love story, if you even want to call it that. I think it is just they're like so connected, or like that. Yeah. That, in flip inverses of each other at times. And then it's like, the kiss they have, I think it is like I might die. I don't know if I'm going to, or whatever, make it out. It wasn't like, I've loved you forever. And like,
no. I think it's very, I think that the way they handle the romance in this movie is actually pretty, to make it as impactful as they did without it being as in depth as it could have been, is pretty fascinating. Like, it's almost like it's just clinging to life, like to being alive, and like love is intrinsic to being alive. Without life, you can't love. Without love, you're not living. That sort of thing. They make the case that Denzel's on this case because he doesn't have anybody. He's always available. He doesn't go anywhere. There's nobody that can get to him. Da 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 da. And so like all of a sudden, he's got something to die for. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's willing to go back and sacrifice himself for this woman. And not just because he's infatuated with her or anything like that, but because she was a living, breathing person and she's worth saving, and he has the means to do it. And I think that kind of makes him, it almost makes him a superhero in the context of this movie. Like, he is, he's like, if I have a theory about how I could save somebody, and I do not try that, I'm guilty of letting them die. Like, and and he does. He saves over 500 people. Like, that's some superhero shit.
And I love that he's in the morgue, sees her body dead, takes a Polaroid picture of her face. Like, and he uses it to say, like, hey, father, confirm the identity of your daughter. But really, it's like he already wants the weight of her on I think, like, it's a thing for him to carry and, like, remember what he's doing. Yeah. And it's just a picture, and he knows she's dead. He's then watching her alive, but he thinks it's a recording. So he's like, okay, well, she's still dead. It's whatever. But the second he is, like, suspicious that, like, wait a minute, this isn't a recording, like, this is real, she's alive, he then is like fully switched, and he's like,
oh yeah,
oh my god. And like, he even says it outright. He's like, I've always caught the bad guy after they've done whatever they're going to do, but this is the first time I can catch them before.
Yeah.
And then save the victim maybe in the as well. And all the it's just they've only sent low whatever done. And it's like, this was the first time where it almost seemed that they were pulling him in to it a little bit. That they knew he was going to call back. They knew he was going to, like, that they wanted human subjects, but they needed it to make them believe that they were making the decision.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I don't like. Was this the first mission or first time they've ever used that machine on a case?
No, I don't think it is. They all seem really well versed in it. It's the
And
first time they've used it in this manner for sure, you know.
the facial
But,
recognition on the bag goes hard. You know, they're like, we've never
he's
used
like,
it like
"Run
this
facial
before, but like,
recognition." He's
whatever,
like,
let's
"Pretty
see
broad
if it works.
use." Yeah.
And it's like, yup. And that's a purely writing room decision. That's not like that facial recognition actually works on a bag or like that it could be that easy. It's just like, no, we're going to make Denzel look
We're gonna make
badass
this look
here.
awesome.
It's like, I mean, good ass idea though.
Dude,
I wouldn't.
conceptually, this movie is air fucking tight. There is like not a single idea in this movie that isn't sick. They're
Like-
all cool. Nobody's made a movie this cool ever. And that's like that I that sounds like exaggeration. It might not be. Like as far as like, I'm not talking like it's not the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's not the best thing I've ever seen. But as far as cool points are concerned, there's not a lot of movies that I would call cooler than this, if any.
It's got everything you want out of a sci-fi movie, but then it gets you in the back of your head to be like, is this really sci-fi? Like the time travel part, like, yeah, he hops in a machine, whatever. But like everything else of like the surveillance, I'm like, this actually makes sense. Like you know, or like I'm like, man, this is like more frightening me than anything. You know, it's like this.
Yeah, what's funny is like
to
that part
the
was
world.
never sci-fi to me. Like even the first time I watched it, I wasn't like, oh. They've got this kind of tech. Like, yeah, of course they've got this kind of tech. You know, like that was kind of like
6.
Yeah. Now
20 years.
They don't have this exact kind of tech where they're literally looking at a live feed of the past. You know,
yeah,
which
not
is a funny
you're
thing
not
to say.
stapled into the 4 hours 6 or 4 days 6 hours. It's you can just choose. It's just whenever you want. 4,000 years ago. Well, probably not. Probably from the day you turn it on.
Observable.
Fuck it. Maybe it's not even a machine. Maybe it's not a built thing. It is all time. I don't know.
It's the Rehoboam. Yeah.
We're getting there anyways. It's it's every
Say what
day
you
is-
will
it's-
about Westworld Season 3, and nobody will say anything about Westworld Season 3 because nobody watched it. But the fact that they created something like the Rehoboam, which has stuck with me in such a way that I think about it as regularly as I do, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
I did just totally, through legal manners, download every episode of Westworld in Blu-ray.
Huge news.
So I mean,
Huge
like
news.
and the restraint I have of not just pulling trick, because when I watch the first episode, it's over. Like I will watch. So yeah, I can't. But it is available in means. But yeah, that is. This is It's not. There's no crazy AI. There's no. I mean, the room they're in, sure, whatever tech they got, it's whatever. But like, whenever, like, I remember when they pulled out the VR headset, like in the first viewing, like the VR goggles that extend the range. I'm like, oh damn. I'm like, that is sick as fuck. But then seeing how Denzel, he doesn't give a fuck on the road. He's just going. He caused the bridge wreck that he caused was so bad.
Brutal.
He's like,
It's awful.
send paramedics to the whatever bridge. You know, he's like,
Got it.
it's just, I'm on my mission. It happened.
Well, and then
I gotta
love
help.
that
But
the guy who's like kind of in charge, Bruce Greenwood, I don't remember what his character's name is, but that actor, who's like, all right, you guys got to fucking stop. All right, that's enough. We caught the guy. We're done. You know, we're done. You changed something. This guy's dead now. I can't really explain that. I don't want to, you know, so like, let's just cut the shit. We're done. It's funny that there's somebody who has, like, we actually, what did we talk? Oh yeah, we talked about this with House of the Dragon recently. Like, they have one of the most powerful tools in the world. The fact that they answer to somebody is so funny to me. You know, like, like, of course you need some sort of oversight, but you know, obviously he doesn't respond to that command. He does whatever the fuck he wants anyway. But no, dude, I love this movie. It has so much juice.
it's like Denzel. I knew, like, I'm trying to think of any other Denzel movie that I actually like more than this now. Like, after this viewing, it kind of was like, this might be one Denzel. This might be like one. Sci-fi is a very hard category to top for me, sadly. So maybe not one sci-fi.
Yeah, it's definitely in my sci-fi canon though. I've got a list that's like that's a bunch of genre canons on Letterboxd, and one of them is like they're all 16 movies, and they're like my 16 essential. This is what sci-fi is. This is on that. This might. No, I was gonna say it might be on the action one, but it's not. It wouldn't be. It would be on the sci-fi one.
I feel like there's 3 camps of sci-fi that I enjoy, or maybe it's just I don't know if it's maybe these are all the only 3 camps of sci-fi, but it's like the present day where there's just a piece of tech that's a little unbelievable, where it's like that's where this one is. It's like it is present day. There's like the Interstellar where it is the real world, but it's just a little bit in the future so that you can kind of suspend belief a little bit of future. And then there's just kind of balls to the wall sci-fi where you're like Star Wars, you're in another galaxy or wherever. And like
of those camps, what would the Matrix be?
Fuck. All of them.
Right? I was like, it's a little bit of everything there.
Wow. And maybe that's why. I mean, yeah, Matrix is up. That this does not beat the Matrix, I don't think.
No.
A more rewatchable movie than the Matrix? Maybe. This feels more like a general audience pleasing movie than the Matrix would be. Like, I think I kind of got to be in that sci-fi camp. A little like
it is much more sci-fi. This is a science fiction movie disguised as an action thriller.
Yeah.
And that makes it really palatable, where The Matrix is a action movie disguised as a really science fiction movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah. The whole point of The Matrix is the sci-fi of it, is like that they are in a simulation, but the sci-fi is like, it's just the MacGuffin kind of them. It's just like a don't think about it. It is just we have it. And even Denzel is like, don't talk science to me. Just how does it work? Or like I know how I don't know how a cell phone works. I know how to use it. You know. And he's like, he always like he just has this kind of character. At least at the movies I've seen him. But he's always just like I feel like he would be like this a little bit in real life of just like he has to know shit. I don't know why. God. He feels like he does.
One of my favorite clips of him is when he's talking about being at an award show and he was like very, very confident he was going to win, and like he didn't end up winning. And he talks about how he went into like the green room where they had a bunch of stuff on display and everything, and he goes, "I'm leaving it with something. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something." And he like took a bunch of shit home, which is so fucking funny. I gotta find that story. The "I'm leaving here with something" Denzel quote is so fucking funny. I'm leaving here with something. I forgot you were in here, Grimmy. He just walked up next to me.
Not Denzel. A keyboard warrior. Does he lay right by the keyboard?
He doesn't. I kind of want him to get up here, but he refuses to. Yeah, realizing he would lose the Best Supporting Actor Oscar to Sean Connery, he decided to grab a ton of food from the governor's ball instead. It was at something preceding the Oscars. Like award season kept building up and building up and building up, and it was like, oh, I'm not going to win this. Sean Connery's going to win this. So at the award shows, he would take stuff home, which is so fucking funny. Yeah. I've also seen a clip where somebody was like, they asked him, what movie would you might have gone and seen on a day in like I can't remember. It was when he was growing up. What were the movies that were like influential on you that made you want to go into acting and stuff? He goes, I didn't see movies when I was younger, and they were like, what do you mean by that? He was like, I was waiting for you to come out of the movies, so I could jump you. he was like, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. Like that's he's just such an interesting character to have become as legendary as he has, because he seems like such one of the strange archetypes where he feels larger than life, but feels down to earth in a way that doesn't seem attainable for a lot of actors who reach that caliber. you would expect that they would lose their head, you know, like they would,
Mm-hmm.
it would get to them. And I think he kind of fit into a similar vein as like Val Kilmer, or it was like he was a movie star and he was larger than life, but it never felt like he lost sight of like being human, you know. And I feel like Denzel is kind of Matt Damon, I would say, is kind of in that camp too, you know. Like there's a few guys where I'm like, but you know, again, those guys aren't Denzel though, you know. Like Denzel is a different breed.
Just kind of has a different air to him. Yeah, it's like I believe all the roles that he's in, even though I know he's just Denzel Washington. Like I know he's an actor, but God damn it, if I'm not like if in the Equalizer he always like clicks his watch before he does his badass shit. Like if I ever saw him like beep, I'm running. I'm kind of running the other. Like I'm actually scared of him a little bit.
I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago. I know that's his son, but
yeah, and I was just about to bring him up. I was like, you know, Tenet, like all the reversed objects that are there. Like, don't they say in Tenet that like there's only a select, like that they're very rare, that you know you can't make them anymore or something like that. I feel like that
it's a material that was finite and can't be reproduced.
Yeah. This machine that they built, you put something in it, it's the reverse object. So Denzel's the first ever reversed human, but then this machine innovates to become the Tenet machine, and then John David he recruits his son, like this, or John David Washington is just Denzel in Tenet. He never ages. I don't know. The movies are connected, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, like they would be a wonderful double feature, and they would kind of go hand in hand. Like there is a little bit of that same, you know, that line that Robert Pattinson delivers in Tenet. What happens happened, and the stuff that nerd says whenever he goes, you know, it happened, it is happening, it will always be happening, da, 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 da. Like that is the same sentiment as what Robert Pattinson is saying in Tenet. And Tenet doesn't have the same conclusion this does. Tenet does conclude that things are immovable.
Yeah.
It concludes that it happened, and so it will happen, and so it is happening. Where this movie's like, you can change shit a little bit. And I really, really appreciate that. I love that this movie was not concerned with going, it was his hubris and he was never going to be able to, no, dog. Love wins, bruh. He did it because he wanted to.
Tillman is inputting that the Odyssey was way better than Oppenheimer, and saying otherwise, you're wrong.
Yeah, I texted him a while ago. I texted him whenever I got out of the movie and said Oppenheimer clears, and he just got back to me and said drunk.
I've not seen it yet, Tillman. So I guess please do not put any spoilers in my chat if you wouldn't mind. Yeah. But if go away on Colton's. But yeah, that's
go off over here. But
but no, like what's happened or kind of the free will debate, you know, like both of them kind of argue against free will. There is a destined timeline, but if you really try to make a change, then you can make a change. Like it's kind of like
and I don't know that it's so much a destined timeline so much as your choices are unreversible, irreversible. You know, you can't take them back once you've done it. You know, like you can't go change this because it's already happened. You know, this I don't think this one has as much to say about free will as Tenet does. Tenet plays a lot more into that, I think, where I think this one is just kind of it doesn't concern itself so much with the literal implications of time travel. Like where usually a movie would go, and you can't interact with your previous self, and you can't let yourself see yourself. He's sending him back in time. He's like, hey, I'm gonna come say hi, and you know, tell me what it's like to meet your younger self, and all that, you know, like all that good shit.
I love how he has to be revived as well. Like he is dead when he goes back. He's you know, just seizing up, and
flatlining.
It's like you have to time travel back into a hospital, or you're just done. Like I mean, that's what it makes me believe.
And there's also no telling how long it'll take him to wake up.
Yeah,
Like he
and
could just sleep all fucking morning. He wakes up 2 hours before he has to be there.
He's like, shit, I gotta go. He's like, fuck, all right, closed. All right, let's get going. But yeah, it's like
hilarious to me that the thought for him whenever he goes, I haven't changed a thing, happens as late as it does for him.
Yeah, bro. When the blood, when it hits the trash can, like for real, not the can't, you can save her. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, you got that idea from you, brother.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. You know,
when he steals the ambulance is when I would have been like, oh wait, I'm gonna drive this motherfucker into this barn, aren't I? Oh shit, you know, like
yeah, it almost
you'd think it would give him an upper hand
with clarity of purpose that he knows all the stuff, so he's doing it. But then the surprise of the gauze is like,
The best thing about Denzel's character in this movie is that, while yes, he knows and he gets shit done and he's the best at what he does, he's kind of fucking stupid and it's hilarious. Like, him being completely incapable of grasping anything about the technology beyond like the very, very surface level of it. But I'm trying to remember an example, but like it's more for the viewer, and in turn it makes Denzel's character look a little dumber. Like, this is a character who's sharp enough to understand what you're talking about after you explain it once. You know what I'm saying? But there are times when he's like, oh, wait, pause that, go back. And they're like, oh, we can't pause that. And then he's like, all right, why are we speeding up? And he's like, we're not speeding up, we're changing perspectives. And, you know, like all that stuff is kind of like, you know, like it's for the audience. It's to be expository. But like in turn, you are it's not making him look dumber. It's making him look curious, and he wants a full rounded understanding, which I really appreciate that side of it. But again, that's a perspective thing. Someone could very much so just as easily go, that makes him look stupid.
Yeah, it's just a necessary exposition that has to happen to explain how the machine works, and he's the only one in there that doesn't know how it works. So it's like, yeah, it's that it is a like once it is set up, it's such a beautiful like the switch of like the laser. I truly think that's probably the best moment in the movie besides the end. Like when he figures out that it is,
oh god, it's so cool.
Actually,
it's just like
time.
He's just looking at it and he goes, he's like, I knew it. Fuck this.
Yep.
Love that.
Because he does like have that moment where they're looking like eye to eye, and he's like, can she see me? You know, and they're like, no.
Well, she hears somebody, you know, like she can feel like she's being watched, and
yeah,
they're like, all right, take a scan of the perimeter. And they're like, well, who's watching her? And he's like, we are, you fucking dunces. Like,
but when they answer no, they're like, no.
Nah.
They're like, well, we're pretty sure no. Like they say that it in just the word no. So I think like he's immediately suspicious. He's like, okay, nah, this is more than what they're letting on. And then, you know, the laser pointer then proves it. But he does that, you know, throws the chair at the locks, and he's like, okay, we can do some real good monitor shit here if you guys want.
Is she dead or is she alive? All right. That monitor, it's dead. It is no more, you know.
I guess being limited to 4 hours or 4 days and 6 hours is kind of like, well, that does limit you to current crimes. Like you can't oh, well, let's just fix 9/11 before 9/11 happens.
Let's prevent Abraham Lincoln's assassination.
Like Hitler, you can't, you know, it's so that's a nice it's just, you know, compute power. It's 4 days, whatever. But then it's like, if compute power gets better, then that gap is only shorter. It's actually kind of nice to have like the 4 days, you know, so you can kind of like plan.
I imagine that if the gap gets shorter, it also means you can extend it though. Like you can take as much time as you need to.
True. So what? That's just the fastest they've got it at this point, or yeah, I want like
probably. Well, and they were like, we figured this out by accident. It sounds like they haven't tried to improve the technology at all because they're afraid of what they would do if they try to. You know, they're like, this is what we got. It's a lot better than we ever thought we were going to be able to get. So we're going to take it, and it's cool, you know? And then they send him back, and I imagine they're going to be like, let's cook, you know?
It's time for Tenet. It's time to
Yeah.
build the revolving door machine that you can walk
Mhm.
into and just go. So it's like, I mean, a pretty good through line. I think I might have to watch Tenet tonight. I do have a very nice IMAX 4K copy ready to go, so that will be. Yeah,
So
it's
do
like
I.
it's gonna be like I watched Mandalorian and Grogu in IMAX at home somehow, which is like feels a little weird, but it's so, oh my god, like Nolan, yeah, you'd hate me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to the theater, but at least I'm not watching on my phone or a laptop. Like it is the biggest I can get it, but like
Yeah.
I've watched three movies yesterday or four. I don't even know. I've just been like kind of cranking through my favorites, like Interstellar, Batman. I watched Mando and Grogu just because, like, oh, I've seen that recently. Let me just put a Star Wars movie on, and I just did that one. And then, like, this one was going to be my next, like, guilty pleasure kind of movie. Or on Letterboxd, I've been having this chain of saying guilty
I
pleasure
saw
1,
you
guilty
watch
pleasure
Tron
2.
Legacy. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that was the first. Was that the first? I think Tron, yeah. Tron might have been the first, then Interstellar, and then it just kind of cascaded. And this, like, it fits that bill of, like, damn, next time I need, or I don't know, I hope I don't move soon, because, man, I'm finally glad I'm not doing those activities really anymore. But, like, it was so nice to throw a movie on the background, do stuff in the kitchen, and just, like, and then I'd plant on the couch 20 minutes into every movie and then just complete the movie. I'd get 20 minutes of work done and then I'm done. And this one, I sat down to actually watch it because I knew I'd be recording on it afterwards. But, like, I think it would fall into that vein of, like, the second he does the laser pointer on screen, then it's like, okay, well, yeah, no work is getting done now. Yeah. But, yeah, so, and this is I'm like, Book of Eli was my favorite Denzel movie at one point, but that is a very long time ago. I'm just trying to, like...
Malcolm X might be the only competition for me here.
This one's just got the sci-fi angle for me.
It's got the sauce. Yeah, it's got the sauce. It's cool. A Man on Fire is also really good. You should absolutely watch that if you haven't yet.
I have
It's not quite this. It's not quite this, but it's still really, really awesome. I'm trying to think of some other Denzel.
Bone Collector. That one's, yeah, with Angelina Jolie. That's
Training Day. Training Day is a good one. But
yeah.
It's I mean, that's got maybe my favorite Denzel monologue of all time. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
He's got some classics, or, like, very well, like, this is Book of Eli, I think, was kind of a lesser known Denzel movie. I think this is lesser known than Book of Eli somehow, which is
probably definitely for people our age. American Gangster, that's a good one.
That, I mean, damn, Frank. Yeah, actually, okay, that's a pretty damn good movie. $10,000 alpaca, or what is the?
That's $50,000 alpaca.
Oh man, but no,
you blot that shit. Yeah,
blot. That's what it would. Thank you. Blot that shit. I'm like, there's something more to that line than what I was leaving on. Okay, but yeah, no. I'm just going through his filmography. Like, yeah, he's got some damn awesome movies that I do love. But this is the most well-rounded, like, my favorite Denzel. That nothing
I love
does
that.
touch it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it is that it is as like intricate and expository, and as much as it has to explain to you, it's a pretty simple movie. You know, guy investigates crime, falls in love with victim, does everything he can to save victim, saves the world. End of movie. Good day. I love it. I love how simple it is. I love how straightforward it is. I love how exciting it is. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat. I tear up at points. It's good shit, man. It's good shit. So I don't have much else to say about Déjà Vu, actually, and it's a rare one where, like, we're like basically at the 50-minute mark, and I feel like we've done the movie justice. But do you have much else you have to say about Déjà Vu?
Other than that, I did say it's my favorite Denzel, but definitely not my favorite Denzel performance of all time. I think that's, like, he doesn't quite get the opportunity to, like,
that is an
fully
important distinction.
Go. So yeah, I think that was like, even, I mean, American Gangster far better. Like, even Gladiator 2, I might like his performance better in Gladiator 2 than
Gladiator
than
2,
here.
yeah, he does deliver something pretty special.
But
yeah, no, he's so good. Another interesting question might be favorites of Tony Scott's, who also
Top
This
Gun
wasn't the first Val Kilmer.
Déjà Vu.
Yeah,
I want.
This wasn't the first Val Kilmer collaboration for Tony Scott, as he was in Top Gun.
Oh, duh. Hell, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally just said Top Gun, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just don't have Val Kilmer in my head. Okay, but yeah.
Like Man on Fire. Again, a lot of the Denzel Washington movies that Tony Scott made are really good. Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Very, very strong movie. I like me some Tony Scott. And yeah, we've when we were talking about the Alien movies, we discussed Tony Scott's tragic passing, as he is the brother of Ridley Scott, the late brother of Ridley Scott. And this episode's almost over. Took his own life about 15 years ago.
Oh man, I didn't. He was probably told that whenever we first.
Yeah, and Ridley, and like it's been like listening to Ridley Scott talk about it. That's like, like it's just devastating stuff. And it really gives, anytime an artist dies tragically, anytime they have anything that, or dies, period, doesn't have to be those specific circumstances, but anything they've done that deals with death automatically becomes more interesting to me, because it gives you a little glimpse into how they might have viewed death. And directing this movie about like dying too soon and all that stuff, and like trying to reverse it and going back and doing everything you can, like it's takes on a real sad tone in that regard. But Tony Scott cooked. He was always so fucking good. High energy, high octane, quintessential action filmmaker. And not many, if any, have ever done it consistently as good as he did.
Yeah, it's always like hard whenever we're covering like Scorsese and Spielberg and like people that like have many good movies of that caliber. But like if you have just Top Gun, like he made Top Gun, like that's all you have to say. You know, like act like that then and there. So I always like my caliber, or like my bearings for like good directors is always like, I'm comparing to just my absolute favorites that have
the ones who you've watched 10 movies that you absolutely fucking love,
But maybe he's the one that's like the undiscovered, because like, damn, I watched.
Well, yeah, I mean, Anna brought up a movie earlier in the chat that was like, this, you guys talking about this kind of reminds me of a Will Smith movie. It's called Enemy of the State. Tony Scott directed that. Like, just us talking about it is enough for you to kind of go, that reminds me of another Tony Scott movie. Yeah, I mean, Taking of the Pelham 123 and shit, I mean,
he likes his surveillance, kind of. Yeah, this was pre 9/11, which is interesting. Enemy of the State is 1998.
Crimson Tide with Gene Hackman and Denzel. That's a
wow. Gene Hackman, Will Smith, John Voight. Wow, okay. He's always got a good cast with him. Yeah, this is a
Crimson Tide's got Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington, and James Gandolfini, along with Viggo Mortensen and Steve Zahn. I mean, I know that James Gandolfini is also in The Taking of the Pelham 123, along with John Travolta and John Turturro, Luis Guzman, like just Ingenue Ellis Taylor. There's some good actors in these movies. So that's one. I've never seen The Taking of the Pelham 123. It's a remake. I haven't watched either the original or the remake. And I haven't watched Crimson Tide. And I haven't watched The Enemy of the State. So like I've watched a few Tony Scott, but I haven't watched nearly enough. So I'm excited to kind of engage with him on a deeper level as a filmmaker. I've heard about the movie The Fan. It's a Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes. It's a sports movie about fandom and how it can be, a bit obsessive.
Okay.
Gil Renauld is a troubled baseball fan whose favorite team, the San Francisco Giants, have just signed a $40 million contract with his favorite player, Bobby Rayburn. His ex-wife, Ellen, obtains a restraining order after arguing with the short-tempered Gil over his neglect of their child, and Gil is fired from his job as a salesman after viciously insulting a prospective customer. And then he dedicates all of his, obsessive energy to Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
De Niro is the fan. That movie also has John Leguizamo and Benicio del Toro, and it's I'm gonna have to check that one out too. But Tony Scott, he's got some goods, man.
John Leguizamo is the constant. He will pop up in absolutely anything now that we talk about.
Anna's in the chat. Anna, again, the FOMO that I suffer every time you chime in with any bit of information is irrefutable. I met James, as in Gandolfini.
How do you refer to him by his first name? I met James. Yeah. Met him.
Well, and
Harrison,
also,
met him.
My man's died 14 years ago. You didn't age yourself before. You have now. Caught.
At least 14 years old is what we know now. I would assume if you knew who James Gandolfini was when meeting him, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That is, okay. Now we're piecing the puzzle together. But, man, whenever you were talking to the Odyssey, I was thinking, like, oh, damn. The only person that I've been in the same room of in that entire cast is Travis Scott. But I can't believe I can say that. I thought, for sure, I've never been in the same room as anyone in the Odyssey. But I guess technically Travis Scott.
That'll do it.
That is true. In this movie, I've never met Denzel. I would very much like to. No, can't say that.
That would be very cool. Yeah, I can't tell you that I've been in the same. I'm curious though. Like, I wonder if I ever have, just because of like,
like they just happen to be in Walmart.
They just happen to be. Well, more like they happen to be at a Chiefs game.
Oh,
that's probably what would happen. Like, that would probably be the one.
Mm-hmm.
Within the last 5 years, the Chiefs really took on a new life, and I've been to a couple primetime games, and those are the ones people go to. So I'm like, maybe at some point I happen to be in the same place as, I don't know, Bruce Greenwood. I'm not saying Denzel flew out to a Chiefs game and I didn't know about it. But one of the smaller actors on this cast list, somewhere at some point would be a funny thought.
But just another guy at the end of the day, which is weird. I don't see Denzel as just another guy. He's like,
no.
But I shouldn't put him on a pedestal to be like, oh, I just want to be in the same room as this guy, or like to, that's, then the fandom, I guess, maybe getting a little weird there.
Well, it's not like you'd be like, and then I'd rush him and I'd grab him,
Well, I didn't.
You just gotta be like, whoa, that's Denzel.
I would likely rush him. I mean, the only, I guess,
I'm thinking about it.
If there was a situation where like he was walking and like I don't ever want to like bother a celebrity or someone if they're just on their normal life, whatever. But it's kind of like, that's why they get paid millions of dollars a little bit. So like, I don't feel too bad for it, but like Denzel might be the one where I'm like, I have to drop that principle. If I see that man, I have to, if I don't make the motion, I will forever regret it. Like it just to know that like I had the opportunity to even say hi, but never did.
So you're saying you'd try.
Damn. Maybe that's what I say to him. What if you had to tell someone the most impossible thing ever? Or what's the verbiage?
The most important thing in the world.
The most important thing in the world.
But they would never believe you.
And he'd say, I'd try. I could die right then and there. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be like, all right, thank you. Thank you for everything.
Denzel, do me a favor. Shoot me. Do me a solid.
I'm complete. You've knocked everything off the bucket list. Thank you. Time for you to kick my bucket.
Bucket list was many items. Yeah. Bucket list was many items long, but that's enough. I don't need any more than that.
That's true. Yeah,
unfortunately,
actually, there's like 50 more things on there.
Nothing will meet the high that I just had there. Nah, man. Very, very good movie. I love me some Déjà Vu. I love me some Denzel Washington, and I think with that we can conclude this episode of The Sentimentalists. I'm going to do some plugs, and then we're going to rate this movie, and then we'll get out of here. But we are also currently doing Geek With Me, where right now we are covering House of the Dragon Season 3. This week is Season 3, Episode 6. On Sunday night, we will be live on TikTok, as we are right now. After the episode airs, we get on the microphones, we get on TikTok Live, we talk through it, and then our episode is available on Monday morning. If you're into House of the Dragon, you should absolutely check that out. You probably won't be disappointed. I don't know. Maybe you will be. I don't know what you're into. But we've also got Lanterns coming up after House of the Dragon, and we're going to continue those Sunday night streams with that show as well. So I'm very excited. In the meantime, we are concluding this month with The Nice Guys, and we'll be joined by our friend Kyler Barnett for that. Logistically, I don't think we'll be able to do a TikTok live for that. I think that we will have to revert to previous ways for at least one episode.
They don't let you do more than 2. That's kind of wild.
I think they do, but I'm more concerned with the just. We haven't had a guest in a while. I'd like to make it as simple as possible and try to.
This is
fair.
We
could try it. We could see. Let's see. Could I invite somebody else? Looks like I could. So
I guess
maybe I'll tell him to go live.
To put that upon him, I guess, is also one thing. Like, hey, do you want to also go live on TikTok Live? Might be, a thing.
Well, because the other thing I'm thinking is that we did Discord with him.
True.
And I don't know that we've recorded an episode with him since we started doing localized recordings.
Yeah, I don't think we have. So he's actually got it the worst of any like that. That's harder to get Discord. I feel like most people don't have Discord, but everyone's kind of got it.
This is cake. If he does this and fucking voice memos, we're fine. But
that's.
But yeah, I'll talk to him about it and get it ironed out because I have not talked to him about it since he committed to it. So. Now we're like a week away and everything piled up very fast. But so The Nice Guys next week. 2016, Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, very young Margaret Qualley. Very fun movie. I'm very excited to revisit that. And definitely, while this one is a happy movie, that one is just a fucking breeze. It's a comedy. We haven't had one of those in a second, and I'm very excited. So The Nice Guys next week. And then after that, August, we're back to some old fun traditions. August is going to be a Cinema Surprise, baby. August and September, we're doing season 3 of Cinema Surprise. And I cannot wait where we go back and forth surprising each other with what we're going to do. I had an idea for the new season of Cinema Surprise. Just a little twist on it. Which is that we find something. It can be as obvious or small and innocuous as you possibly want, but something that ties all your movies together.
Ooh.
And then at the end of we could guess as we're going and then submit a final guess in the last episode that we have. And it's that's what we're doing.
Yes.
I think that'd be fun. Yeah. Find something completely as small or as massive and obvious as you want, but something that ties them together.
It's this actor in the same movie.
It could be.
Okay.
It could be.
Or
but
they show, I don't know, a Coke can. Is that too small, or
No, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Okay.
Another point of the Cinema Surprise that we've always done is that we don't want it to be too themed, that we want it to be a surprise, So I'm not saying and again, you can if you want to. You could go, oh, they're all horror movies. But I know you and you know me. Neither of us is going to just go, isn't it obvious? No, it's, I'm going to find something very fun and very small. And we have to try to pick it out. But I think that's a fun way to do the Cinema Surprise this year. We've done it every year this will be the 3rd year, so that's pretty cool.
It's
always a fun little tradition that we're upkeeping. It is always
nice to not even know what movie's coming up. It's just just keeps us on our toes a little more. It's it's because the guest, I guess, they know what month is coming, but it's we already know what's coming in Christmas and December and a lot of upcoming. But no, this is always fun. I'm trying to think of do I pick my movies first, then see if there's such a small connection between them, or do I try to go for
I gotta find the
connection?
I gotta find the connection, and then maybe from there. But
that's fun
because that's the other thing too is that regardless, we'll get there. We can talk about this off mic. I forgot that we still have to rate this episode or this movie. How do you feel? Déjà Vu, 1 to 10.
Well, it's kind of an all-timer, so there's kind of only one number that goes across for that. It is an instant 5-star, and I will double that to make it the 10 numeric.
You're going to double down on the 10. I like it. I like it a lot. That feels perfectly correct for you. I'm going to go 9.
Okay.
I'm going to balance it out just a little bit.
There we go.
Because 9 out of 10 is still a brilliant fucking movie. I think it is as cool as any movie ever done. I think that Tony Scott has the juice. I think it's a gorgeous looking movie. I think Denzel performs his ass off. I think it's a great supporting cast. But yeah, when I think of my tier of what a 10 out of 10 is, Déjà Vu doesn't quite access it. But I'm comfortable giving it the 9 out of 10.
Déjà Vu or Odyssey?
Déjà Vu got the 5 stars on Letterboxd,
True.
and Odyssey did not. So
True. Wow.
I
Okay.
think it's kind of clear where I stand there.
Déjà Vu or Oppenheimer?
I gotta go Oppenheimer there.
Okay.
I gotta go Oppenheimer.
That's
there.
a good bearing,
Oppenheimer's
though.
really, really
That's a good. I like that. That's I kind of.
Oppenheimer. I would no doubt go 10 out of 10 on that. Like that is that echelon for me.
Okay, but yeah, it's quintessential Joe. It's Joe Core. I need to change. I'm doing that right now.
I'm literally changing it right now.
Doing it.
Luke Harden joined my chat. My man's. I haven't talked to him in a while. Because we haven't played Battlefront in a while.
Thanks for the follow.
My
Got you, homie.
PlayStation Network expired, and I haven't forked over the money to re-up it. Tonight might be the night. Tonight might be the night,
Joe
Luke.
Core.
You know, if you give me a little bit of a sales pitch on why I should hop on Battlefront tonight, I might go ahead and fork over the $80 required for me to play Battlefront tonight.
It's a joke. We don't own anything anymore. You gotta. That was the
Well,
whole selling point of a
own the
PlayStation
disc
in the first place. Is that you don't pay for online. That you did that. You had to on Xbox, but you didn't have to. And then now, fuck. So yeah, I'm sorry.
The Force will provide. Amen, brother. Amen, brother.
You can play Han Solo. What more do you need? I don't know. You can control him.
Star Wars, I'm Han Solo with 3 egos and 3 charges. I had to see 3 POs. Great bar from Method Man.
C3P those? Or what was the?
C3POs.
I had to see
Star Wars,
C3PO.
I'm Han Solo with 3 egos and 3 charges. Like 3 criminal charges. I had to see 3 POs. As in parole officers. Which is... It's about as good as it gets.
Thank you for
that's some good shit.
I needed the white explanation. I think the white
break it down a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
The genius explanation. You know, you click on the bar and they show you what. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was good. That's okay. Wow. But Star Wars. How do we get to Star Wars? I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. I guess.
Battlefront. I played Battlefront.
Yes,
Battlefront with Luke. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I might fork over the $80. I did get paid. Shit, it's Thursday. I got paid a couple days ago. But who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I think with that we can conclude this episode with Déjà Vu getting a 95% on the old Cinementilometer. And we'll be back next week with the nice guys. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, fuck ice.